No way, dude. Are you kidding me? No. Are you serious?
You see, we built our stands to last. We built them out of just about anything you could find lying around.
Down here at the bottom, there's a couple different shooting lanes right here, okay?
They were more than just a tree stand to us. They claimed our spot.
Make sure you take your time.
I could still take you to that stand if you asked. You see, they were a labor of love.
Daddy, I got him!
I am so proud of you, buddy. Shooting lanes right here, okay? Take your time and take your shot, okay? Make sure that he's turned broadside though, okay? All right, I'll help you. We're gonna be patient. He's broadside now. Take your safety off and take your shot. Okay, take your time. I'm so proud of you. Great job. That's your first deer, buddy.
I like nickels. I guess I formed an appreciation for nickels rather young. I like to blame it on the owner of our local 5 and dime store. He had this nickel gumball machine that really wasn't a very good deal, but he drew me in with choice gumballs. They looked like little baseballs. If I put my nickel in and turned that knob, the door would clank and hopefully I would pull out a choice gumball. With the winning gumball in hand, I could then choose any candy bar I wanted. As I've aged, I haven't lost that feeling for nickels and that old gumball machine. Every chance I get to hunt, I'm reminded of spending one of those nickels. The anxiety and anticipation of deciding where to spend today's nickel. What's the wind doing? What blind do I sit in? Will I get that winning gumball again? And of course, that same feeling for a 5-year-old when the nickel doesn't win is often the feeling we have when we finish our hunt. We leave the stand, we've enjoyed the night, it's been fun to be out there, but we didn't accomplish everything we had dreamed of. In 2018, I had a chance to fulfill a lifelong dream. A 2-week bear hunt in Canada in an area that was known for colored, phased bears. I was thrilled. 10 nickels to spend on the hunt. The second night of the hunt, it happened. This bear comes out. He is gorgeous. My heart is pounding out of my chest. I have my camera running. I have my bow up. I want to do everything perfect. This is the chance of my lifetime, my dream. 30 years waiting for the opportunity. He gets nervous and then disappears. It's okay. He'll be back, right? He doesn't come back. Night number 2 finishes in a long ride back to camp, and then I spend nickel number 3 and 4 and 5, and nickel 6 and 7 are now spent. My hunt is almost over. We are finally on nickel number 8, and guess who shows up? Looking at the big picture of life, gumballs and bears are probably not that important. I guess I ask myself, how am I spending my life nickel? How are you spending yours?
How many more times do we get to watch the western sun set beyond that far-off ridge? How many more times do we get to come to full draw on a bugling bull? How many more adventures in God's perfect creation do we have left? many more days do we have with our friends and our loved ones? These are the questions we probably don't ask ourselves very often, if at all. But when those questions come to mind, it can take your breath away. The truth is, I am living on borrowed time. We all are living on borrowed time.
I think he's got extra brow time. Dude, that's that pull. Extra brow. On his right side, I think he's got an extra brow. Yeah. He's done.
You can buy the arrows. You can buy all the gear. But the one thing you cannot buy is time. Life is not all about the things you can buy. It's about the moments you can't.
Big bear down. I shot a giant bear.
Don't waste a day. We are given a finite amount of time on this earth.
Yeah, baby, woo!
Spend it with those you love. Do the things you are passionate about and make the most of this borrowed time.
Distance is only a test, and it doesn't get easier. You're just forced to get stronger.
We may be worlds apart, but that doesn't change who we are, what we love, and the traditions we keep alive.
Our lives are different, and our antagonists vary, but we walk the path together, leaning on each other when the burden is heavy, sharing the hardships and relishing the successes.
The concern for each other doesn't dissipate, but time has proven us more than capable to walk the path fate has chosen. We may be worlds apart, but this is what we do. It's who we are, and it's in our blood. And so we continue on doing what we love and keeping our traditions alive.
self-filming all of my hunts for about 10 years now. When I first started, I'd pretty much only try and film the kill. But I don't think that necessarily paints a whole picture of what hunters love about being out in the woods. So I started trying to add some more shots. Some of them can look pretty silly behind the scenes, and I just pray I don't get busted by someone's trail cam setting one of these shots up. I usually try to show the good and the bad, and lately there's been plenty of bad. I'd say the toughest part about self-filming is getting the actual shot centered and on cam. I've had plenty of shots that took place just outside of frame. Plenty that were perfectly centered, but someone missed the shot. Every once in a while, all the pieces come together. Now, when it's time to start putting all the clips together, I try my hardest to bring a cinematic feel to my videos. I'll start adding some music, make the color pop a little bit, put in a little camera motion, maybe even add some cinematic bars. And now it's time to bring in those weird shots I was setting up earlier. Animals. You gotta show all the animals you've had the luck of seeing out there. They're the real stars of these videos. Now, as the hunt itself unfolds, you want to try and bring the viewer along for the journey. Ups and downs in hunting. You got to show the heartache, but you also got to show how you came out and redeemed yourself. Like I said, you don't always get the kill centered and on film. My goal is that the emotion and excitement of the entire adventure is felt right there alongside with me.
Life is a river. It's constantly pushing forward. Sometimes so peacefully calm, you can hear a breeze and the trickling water. Other times, it's filled with chaotic rapids that are furious with power. You can barely breathe. The river's not changed much through the years, except the lines are more blurred. That's what Fritz Ledger used to say. He was an outdoorsman unlike anyone else. Antlers to him were a freezer full of adrenaline-filled meat that tasted much like dull, chewy rubber. He'd button up his flannel shirt every fall and, like clockwork, head out into the crisp, cool fall air. He dumped apples and set up deer stands. He'd always say, "One more canyon, son. Just one more canyon." These days, the river seems somewhat out of reach. We're driven by the glow of so-called smart devices every morning and every evening. Fritz lived by the infamous poem, claiming, "We have taller buildings, but shorter tempers, wider freeways, but narrower viewpoints. We spend more, but have less. We buy more, but enjoy it less. We have bigger houses and smaller families, more conveniences, but less time. More experts, but more problems. More medicine, but less wellness. We drink too much, smoke too much, spend too recklessly, laugh too little, drive too fast, get angry too quickly, watch TV too much, and pray too seldom. These are days of quick trips, disposable diapers, throwaway morality, one-night stands, overweight bodies, and pills that do everything from cheer to quiet to kill. A time when technology has brought this letter to you, and a time when you can choose either to make a difference or just hit delete. This is a place that Fritz would describe as where the bone meets the marrow, the way back in. I remember my first bow. I knew it was coming. Fritz showed me the ones that were best suited for an 11-year-old. It was so hard to pull back, and I misaligned my pins countless times and destroyed hundreds of arrows. Yet I woke up every morning, ran to the garage, and I would look up at it, wide-eyed and filled with awe at that bow. "Tune it right," he said. "Breathe slowly. Close your eyes. Open them. Focus on where you want that arrow to go and release." Complex by design and yet so simple, the bow is one of life's oldest inventions. Its resistance propels a blade forward. The human element is what makes it precise. Razors cut through the air like a bird with purpose. With time has come innovation. It's only been 5,000 years since the first ancient Egyptian warrior carved out the first primitive weapon. 5,000 years of innovation, design, and trial and error. We have never given up. Cam's pulling on a string, and still nothing is guaranteed. Hunting is the great act of cowards, some might say. I've heard it my whole life. We kill and kill some more. We hunt every fall and post every bloody harvest for the glow of those mornings and evenings. I wonder what Fritz would say about that. Fritz was all about that connection. A relationship with the earth and simplicity like that first bow. Then came the first hunt, and everything changed. Many of us, life's great moments and connections are just out of reach. The river is distant. Life sails by. But the river is never out of reach. It's the rush of pushing forward, the drive of adventure. This is a story of the way back in.
I can run, I can ride, I do anything I like. Every day, every night, every moment I'm alive. I'd rather run around than be settled in. Some people settle down, but I'm not one of them. I'm gonna go where I've never been. I'm gonna go where I've never been. I'm gonna do something I never did, where I've never been. I'm diving in.
When it comes to hunting, when the hunter pulls up his bow, when he places that pin on flesh, when he chooses to take a life to fill the lives of many, to create a memory so rich, so filled with life, that is living. That is what we have waited for. Getting lost in that river.
Tough hunt, super hot conditions. Not talking, just we had one encounter this morning on the third day and just couldn't quite get close enough to make it happen, and we were able to sneak in on this bull this evening while he was feeding and get about a 20-yard shot on him. And definitely going to be a great eating bull, feed my family. I'm just on cloud 9 that it all came together with the old stick and string.
A lot has changed since he passed on. He taught me everything I know about the outdoors. He's gone, but his spirit, just like the river, still flows. Fritz's era may have faced other problems, yet maybe we have more in common than one would think. After all, we are human. Different wounds, but similar band-aids.
Tell us what we're doing here.
We have to put the lawnmowers into that shop. I mean, go back, grab the other one, bring it up here, and then we put all those into a neat spot, and then we grab the other blue lawnmower, and we put that in there, too.
Chores.
Yeah.
Let's get to it.
A girl.
A girl?
Yes, I thought glass.
That sounds like a fancy birthday party for a girl.
Yeah,
so let me talk to you about something real quick. You can't be missing hunting time going to some girl's birthday party. That's a good girl.
She wants you, Carson. She wants you.
No, she does. She likes Griff.
No, she wants you, Carson.
She likes Griff, Ken.
She just says that so then
you chase her. She's diverting the attention. Yeah, she is. Yes, she is. Is Griff gonna be at the birthday?
No.
Oh my God, that's the whole sign. There's the sign.
Learning to bow hunt in North Dakota has been an addiction. Growing up in the big woods of Ohio, this flat, open terrain provides a new and different challenge for us. For the past 7 years, we've started our season up here, and we learn something new every year. We've had the opportunity to introduce the landowner's son, Kane, into bow hunting the last few years. He's 15 years old now, shooting a compound, and a sponge for the knowledge that we share with him. It's motivating how intrigued Kane is learning the sport and learning the deer. Whether Kane is the one hunting or not, he just loves being out there with us. But today, Kane's parents told him he can't go hunting until he finishes his chores. A storm is rolling through in perfect time for our afternoon hunt. So you better believe we're doing chores with him. As soon as this rain stops, he's gonna get off. They're calling for 60-mile-an-hour winds and like an inch-sized hail. So we're gonna have to hunker down for a little while.
Wow, you're not getting in a tree in this. Not even if you're a badass like me. The sun is here, and that means the deer are gonna be up. I'm taking Dean in, dropping him off. He's going after Fudd. I'm picking Kane up. We're going after Bin Laden. Tonight is gonna be good. Kane and I are going to the molehill after Bin Laden. Could be a crazy hunt.
Kane and I went in not really knowing what to expect. Honestly, I was just happy to be hunting with him. I knew deer had been hitting this alfalfa, so we should see some action. If something got close enough, maybe Kane could get his first shot. But Kane was adamant if the big boy made an appearance, he wanted me to shoot.
I know my way around.
He's still gaining confidence with his bow, so just being there to observe will be a learning lesson in itself.
Endangered trees is hard to find. I'm letting you know where I want to be.
He last bedded in the middle of this alfalfa field. We're gonna get back in there and start searching for him.
Shot that deer from up on that dirt mound right there. 2 of us hiding in the grass.
I'm gonna talk about how strong deer are. This deer is still alive. Unfortunately for Kane, it was back to school. For David and I, it was time to re-strategize and refocus because we needed to figure out how to get another shot at this deer. It wasn't going to be easy. This deer was in the middle of 160 acres of alfalfa, but fortunately after sunrise the wind kicked up and it was going to be the cover we needed to put a stalk on this deer.
Got him, baby. Done. What a sneak up. And he finished them off. That is hunting at its finest.
Well, that wasn't exactly how we drew it up. But if you bow hunt long enough, you realize that not everything's going to be perfect. Every hunt will find a new way to challenge you. We were grateful that even though Kane had to go back to school and couldn't be with us, his luck was still on our side.
Alright, well, going in after a new buck tonight, new hunt, new sit, new spot. We hung this little stand up yesterday. You can only get one person in this tree. It's a real small tree, only about 9, maybe 10 feet off the ground. Before we went in for David's deer, we got trail cam pictures of a buck we call East Coast. With this being the last afternoon we were going to be able to hunt, we took care of David's deer as quick as we could, and I was able to get ready with enough time to get an afternoon in the tree. I was honestly really nervous because this particular area was very tough to get into, and this was going to be a solo mission. So the pressure was on me, but these high winds were going to allow me to get into the spot.
Hello?
Hey. What's up?
Dude, I just hit that buck back.
You did not.
Oh my god, dude, I'm so mad at myself. Dude, he was right underneath me.
Are you shitting me? I got lucky getting another shot at him because he spooked. I'm so low to the ground. Regardless, we got an arrow in him. And we got to do our job to go do whatever we can to recover him.
This stand is like 8 feet off the ground, and he was standing right there.
Since it got dark after I shot, the plan was for me to get back in the stand, and I was going to direct David to the last spot I saw the deer. We knew finding the deer could be a huge challenge, being in hundreds of acres of beans that were waist deep.
I got him, baby.
Oh my god!
Yes. Yes.
Thank you, Lord. Thank Lord. Oh my God. He didn't go anywhere. Oh my God, dude.
The most rewarding part of this trip to me is looking back at our entire North Dakota journey as a whole. Seeing how far we've come from not really seeing deer or getting near one our first couple years out here to having a trip like this is the most gratifying feeling to me. You look back and you enjoy all the moments and experiences we've been through to get to this point. To me, this is honestly the best part about teaching someone like Kane to bow hunt. We get to sort of retrace back to that stage of our bow hunting life, and we get to relive it through Kane. It brings a whole new meaning to bow hunting when it comes full circle like that. Breeding a new bow hunter, creating these friendships, and passing on this incredible tradition. So Kane had a big 15th birthday coming up in October, and one of the only things he wanted to do was bow hunt. Dave and I were both obviously tagged out in North Dakota, and driving 18 hours back out there in October was not at all conducive to our schedule. So we packed the truck and we headed to North Dakota in October. After a couple days of hunting with Kane and seeing the looks on his face and the enjoyment he was experiencing, we realized the ultimate meaning of this year's North Dakota trip. A new bow hunter was born.
Listen up. How in the hell are we going to get back into the Badlands Film Festival?
Back into it? I want to win one of those frickin' trophies, man.
I've got some bad news for you fellas. We don't shoot in 27K.
I can refinance my house and buy us a red.
No, I'll just rent my body out as a drug mule.
No, no, no. Nobody is selling anything, including your body. Logan, any ideas?
I could show my boobs for free.
Well, there's elk at the petting zoo, and I know the owner really well.
So what exactly are you saying?
What I'm saying is, I don't think he's that attached to him, and we could put on a really epic stalk.
Yeah, epic and petting zoo don't really go together.
You know what? I like the boob idea.
Come on now, guys. Focus up.
All right, I got it. We just gotta kill a big ass buck.
They say that on the day that David defeated Goliath, that he did not win the battle with size or strength, but it was David's wit and intellect that won him the fight. Casting a stone from a sling, David struck the giant perfectly, cutting him down like blades of grass.
Dude, this freaking found a stud down there. Oh my God.
First sit, monster freaking doe down. All right, let's see if the 10 points are better than 8.
Set.
The wind has switched out of the north, which we knew it would, but where we're at is just like a wind tunnel. I don't think deer are gonna want to be on this flat with this high winds. So we're actually gonna jump down, grab Boris, and head to a new stand that we call the Trench. It's in a deep bottom, heavy trail. we're making some moves. Switched stands, it took us less than 20 minutes to get down, got the decoy off to get over here. We're in the bottom.
It's that mule deer. I'm gonna shoot him in this second hole. Good.
Killed him. That happened fast. It's a great deer.
Can you believe that?
No, I can't.
How about them apples? When Jeff got permission to hunt on 19 acres using nothing but a handshake, none of us expected that it was the bedroom of the biggest deer we had ever killed using a bow and arrow.
Well, I just seen the biggest buck I've ever seen. 150 yards away, wouldn't come in for nothing.
As the sun came up that morning and brought with it a perfect wind, Jeff and Logan watched the giant rise from his bed. And the rest is history.
Sitting here and he just jumped up out of nowhere.
He shot dumb. And this is why you film and hunt with your friend, because it's 8 o'clock on November 2nd. The morning you haven't started yet, and we're getting out of a tree because we want to be there when he finds this deer. Find your gang and make some memories. That's what it's all about. We're gonna get down. You better be pissing with me.
He's 20 yards in front of you.
Where? I don't care, you're on the phone. He was in the open pretty much the whole time and smoked him. Holy cow.
Hundreds of hours of practice, and it all boils down to one moment. Intense focus, the heart raging, body shaking, sometimes struggling to breathe. It all happens automatically. There's nothing we can do about it.
Like we said in the Marine Corps, no good plan survives first contact with the enemy.
Do you ever have one of those moments where your life just kind of flashes right before your eyes?
I ripped an arrow and put my wrong pin. My windage was perfect. Wrong pin.
A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity missed. You cannot rewind. You act, then you have to start over. Make a decision, act again. There are no do-overs in bow hunting. I can't rewind, but I can reload.
Lots of stuff going on at home, and it's time for me just to chill on that. And I have an opening archery elk season tomorrow. We are getting ready to head off into the hills, do a little bit of glassing, see if we can find some big bulls. Big bulls are cool. We are in central New Mexico in the Santa Fe National Forest, and I'm not gonna lie, I think this is totally a coveted tag. So for all of you out there that are hunting, I hope you're doing great today, and wish us luck if you can.
Hunting is many things to me. It's about family, friendship, and tradition. Being out in nature and navigating the terrain just like our ancestors did.
On our way back to camp last night after the hunt, I find out that Jeff's got to get back to work. Had some things pop up that he needed to split. So it's a solo hunting time for old Bri.
And now I find myself alone. Man versus nature. My skills pitted against that of my prey. There's no fanfare, and there certainly isn't any way to redirect my responsibility. Little did I know it now, that I would later experience some failure, a miss forever etched in my mind.
As hot as it was, I think these elk are going to try to migrate through the water and hit it. I've never killed an elk over water or a wallow.
The experience is mine. And no matter what I want to believe, the countless hours preparing for the hunt come down to one finite moment in time where it's all about the kill. And now it's back to reality. I couldn't stop my mind going back, reliving each moment that got me to this location. I need not worry about letting others down. This experience was mine. I own it. I can't rewind, but I can reload.
Dude, that's a 350, 360 bull easy. Maybe a little bigger. His left side, or right side here is awesome.
I need to get one of those giant coolers like you.
Hang on, dude. I wouldn't put that.
I'm just gonna fill these cracks in.
To my son, Barrett. My job as a father is to love you, protect you, guide you, and give you the knowledge and tools that you need to navigate this crazy thing that we call life. First things first, there's only one you. You are unique, and never be afraid to be yourself. You will have dreams and passions. Get lost in them and chase them every day. For me, there's one passion that has burned inside of me since I was a little boy, just like you. I am a hunter. Hunting has taught me patience, perseverance, hard work, risk, reward. The list goes on and on. Hunting has helped mold me into who I am today.
We drop down below these hills. You never know what could be in the next little crevice. I mean, this is one of those big giant mule deer. This is where they live. We're just picking our way through and seeing what we see. This is awesome. We couldn't ask for more. I'm gonna try to get a little closer look.
Practice and preparation are key to being successful at anything in life. People will always tell you that practice makes perfect. But it isn't about being perfect. It's about pushing yourself to be better, and in your mind knowing that when the time comes, you stay poised because you are prepared, both mentally and physically. There is no feeling like being face to face with a wild animal. Eye to eye, up close and personal in their home territory. Along the way, you'll learn that success is defined in many ways. You don't always hit a home run, and in this case, you don't always get the buck, but you have the experiences, and you learn from them. Thomas Edison said, "I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Find success in everything that you do. The beauty of hunting isn't about just getting the deer. It's the moments, the camaraderie, the friendships, and the stories. That adrenaline rush is what we hunters live for.
Man, if that doesn't make you smile, I don't know what does. This is what we live for.
Unbelievable day. Can't wait to wake up and do it again tomorrow.
Spot and stock with a bow. You are in their world. They have the advantage. Your heart beating out of your chest, and your mind racing to predict their next move. And how do you respond? Sometimes, all you can do is sit there motionless and watch. The ultimate test of patience. Today was a special day. The practice and preparation, a sound game plan, patience, execution, and a little luck. And I'm proud to tell you that your dad killed his first mule deer. Accomplishment is a feeling that we as people all crave, and we as hunters can share when a plan comes together. Whatever you do, make sure you enjoy it. Every day that we wake up is a blessing, and we live in a world that is full of opportunities. Take advantage of every single moment. I hunt because I absolutely love everything about it, just like I love every single thing about you. Until our first hunt together. Love, Dad.
I've known many wonders in my life. A woman's love, a good whiskey, the roar of a stag in the Highlands mist, the smell of heather on a first frost. Now in my later years, I worry for the future, of those yet to come. What will they witness? What will they cherish? What traditions will defeat time?
This includes important safety information specific to this aircraft type, such as
good progress overnight, 6 hours and 10 minutes since we got air launch pulse clock.
How you doing? This is Brian. Brian, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, mate. We need to wait for the fog to clear. Once that clears, I think if we go back behind us up to the top of the hill, the stag should be coming back and we'll intercept them as they come back and just go from there really. Heard them roaring already, so we know the rut started.
I'm sure many before me feared the same. All will be well. All will be well. For it is in these hills, it's in our blood. For some things cannot be lost.
She's always been unusually fearless, maybe even in a naive way, a little reckless and tough. She seems to view life in vivid color. When she was young, I joked with her and told her that Rambo was taught to ignore pain. I think she took it to heart. But these descriptors wouldn't become her identity. She'd killed a bear before, but we were looking for something different. We gained access to a piece of private ground with no vehicular access, deep in the backwoods of Arkansas. We'd use our mules to haul in bait, and if we killed one, we'd use them to haul it out. We didn't know the endeavor would span 2 seasons, a serious accident, and some wins and losses with some giant bears.
This is going to be a big adventure, and we have no idea what we're getting into.
This is our first time into this private property. We hadn't been up here before. We really don't know what we're getting into. On September 15th, 2018, on our way down the mountain, River rode my younger mule. On a steep downhill slope, it burst into a full gallop when River ducked to avoid a low limb. She fell off the mule head first onto a rocky hillside, busting her head so bad you could see her skull beneath the blood. After the first day of baiting bears, the mountain 1, Newcomb's 0. River's okay, but we had a pretty serious mule accident. This was 1 week before opening day. She'd end up with a concussion and 7 staples. However, it didn't stop her from hunting.
It's 2 o'clock. We just made it up, just climbed the tree, and the pictures on the camera look really good. We've got a really big bear coming in, so it's hunting time.
In the bear hunting world, this is what would be called a smoking hot stand. The mountain was covered in fog and bears started to pile in. However, we had 2 big bears coming in, and River was committed to waiting for a big one. We saw 7 different bears on opening day, and River passed them all. She had to go on a school trip for a week, and so the next Saturday, we came back for our second hunt.
Last week we were in here and we saw at least 7 less than 200-pound bears. This morning we had a probably 500-pound old boar come in, and so we're gonna wait for him.
After seeing multiple bears, just before dark, a big color-phased bear came in. In a heartbreaking moment, we realized the shot was high. We spent the entire next day looking for the bear, only to find out that he had lived when we got trail camera pictures of him the next night right there. The bear was fine. The hunt was over.
Today is September 16th. It's the first time we're going up on the mountain, and it's pretty hard to get to, so we gotta bring the mules. We hunted here last year. I got a chance at a big bear, couldn't make it happen. We got Ace loaded up with 150 pounds, and Izzy's got about the same. And it's about an hour walk to where we're going, straight uphill. Come on, you stupid, come on.
A little tired?
I remember walking out of here with blood running down my neck and just feeling like I was about to just fall over, and coming up to that log and just being like, I had Izzy, I was leading Ellie, and I was just like, oh goodness. When I was like really little, I used to wear a black bear claw around a leather string around my neck, and I wore it every single day for like years. And then we went on a hike and somehow I lost it. And so for my 16th birthday, he went and got a really nice one made with the color-faced bear that touched the end of my dad's arrow in Saskatchewan. So I wear it every day.
We're about halfway up the mountain. It's gonna get foggy.
How's the ride? You okay?
Yeah. Don't fall off, River. We parked the mules about a quarter mile from where we were hunting and headed to the top. Bear movement was slower than last year, and we sat for several hours without seeing a bear. When the light began to fade and we thought the hunt was over, we spotted a large bear on the horizon. He clearly winded us and stayed out in the woods for over 20 minutes. Finally, at last light, he came into range.
How'd it feel?
Oh God, please. Oh, I hope.
Holy cow.
That's good, right?
Man, it was a lot of work and a lot more than this silly video can describe. But River worked hard and she got a beautiful boar with her bow. She encountered some opposition but pushed through. Being physically tough or brave is only valuable if your internal value system is immovable. I'm seeing big glimmers of that in River's life, and for that I am proud.
Every single time we would go up on that mountain, there were just constantly obstacles. And coming off the mountain at the end of the season with having missed a bear and a bad concussion, it just felt like it was over. We weren't gonna kill a bear up there. And so going up the next season was like a massive ordeal. And to get to lay my hands on like a beautiful, majestic beast, it was just like we were able to see the fruit of everything we've been working for. Is that filming right now?
It's filming. Watch out.
Probably get a set.
Something right in that
There's
bottom.
the fence post, but you could probably do something up in here if you wanted to.
Last year, Ohio flat kicked our ass.
If we hunt there, you'd be a great west-southwest.
This year, we set out to give it everything we had. Perfect evening to be in a tree stand. Leaves are in full color and those temps are dropping. I think we were high in the mid to high 50s today, so pumped to be in the stand. This is the first time ever sitting this particular stand, and it's also the first time in the tree with the new Prime Black. Right when I pulled that trigger, dude. Oh my God, I don't know. I can't get excited. I felt good. I know I hugged shoulder, but he was slightly quartering too, you know. I just can't tell from the footage, and I hate that, so we're getting out of here. We still got 2 hours left of daylight, the best part of the evening, so we're gonna get out of here and go back and watch the footage back at the office, call Nick, and come up with a plan. For now, there's no way I'm going after that deer tonight regardless. We're waiting till the morning, so I'm nervous. Last night, Tom was at this very stand. I shot a 10-pointer, so we want to come in here in hopes of A, finding his arrow, and then B, hopefully finding his buck after. I'll mark this. I'll leave this here, I'll mark it, but let's just go look over this hill and see. I'll leave this right here. Just go peek over, see if we see anything. Holy cow. You kidding me? That ain't 150 yards, dude. Oh, did you? At the office? Yeah, sounds about right.
And then I come in and I see Frenchie with the camera. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot the camera. Well, I mean, we got one, right?
I mean, you could go back and get it because he's dead over there, so we don't need your bow or nothing.
No, you're lying.
I already found him.
No way, dude. Are you kidding me? No. Are you serious? Are you serious? No way.
Yeah.
So he didn't go anywhere?
No, he's 80 yards past the arrow. I could see him from the arrow.
Pressure is now off. Thomas filled his Ohio tag, and I couldn't be happier for him. It's been a couple years for him, and it anxious. Things haven't gone his way the past couple of years, but he just shot an old 10-pointer. And oddly enough, it's out of this very same stand. You're probably wondering why we're back here. And there's a big buck that came in after Tom left. We call Ned, and he hasn't been daylight a lot, but he's daylight last night after Tom shot his. And so, although we're cinematographers and we like different scenes and different stands, we're also hunters. And if we can kill 2 bucks out of the same stand, it's worth a try. Right here. That's Ned right there. Meh. Watch, he's going down. Come on, baby, go down. Right there. Go down. Come on, go down. Go down. Come on. Dude. Come on, baby. Go down. Go down. No doubt the biggest buck I've killed so far. No doubt. Dude. God, dude. Holy cow, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh, dude.
He'll find that tree.
If he came around this tree, he could have.
Right there.
Yeah, dude. Yes.
Did you see him already? Oh my gosh. We're both very grateful for this moment we got to share in Ohio. Some years, it takes all season, and even then, it may not come together. And sometimes, it can only take 24 hours.